All right, everybody, welcome back. Chicago Hockey Radio post-game show edition. Justin Lynch and Tassos Kirkos here live. Hawks win 5-3 over the Vegas Golden Knights. Justin, apparently the Hawks can only beat Stanley Cup bona fide contenders right now, but Man, that was good. Take them any way they come, dude. That was fun. That was a good hockey game. Yeah.
Just the dialogue around this club has been nothing but just depression. So I think the boys needed this, the club needed it, and even better, pretty much all the young guns in the lineup produced tonight got a point. So that's what you love to see. The future showed out. A lot of veterans that could be on the move at the trade deadline increased their value. They showed out. A lot of the free agent guys who will be around for the future, like Teravine and Bertuzzi, showed out too. So we got a little bit of everything tonight. Production from a little bit of everybody. Power play did its job. Which is good to see. And yeah, no, just a good win against Vegas. Definitely a team you love to beat because I don't know about you, I'm not a big fan of the Vegas Golden Knights. Probably amongst my least liked teams.
Yeah. That was good. Sorry, everybody. I had Justin muted for the first like 5 seconds of what you were talking about, but he was just saying, that Hawks beat good teams and lose against bad teams. That's,
That's pretty much the general thesis of what I was saying.
yeah.
Hopefully, I sound better too. By the way, last post game I sounded like I was like a robot or something. So hopefully this mic's working a little better. Temporary setup here, but yeah, I mean this was definitely a fun game. I think one of the more impressive, one of the best wins of the season. I mean, there haven't been much to choose from. 15 now. I think this was one of the better ones. We'll get into it.
Yeah, man, everybody coming for my throat as soon as I forget to hit the unmute button on
They want to
Justin.
hear from the man himself.
No,
right?
I know.
They want to hear me. Yeah,
That was my bad.
Oh,
Just
good.
super good. All right. Yeah, I thought it was a great game. That was probably the best first period we've seen out of the season.
Oh yeah.
We could start there,
That may have been the best period of the season.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, up there for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you got to give full credit to the Hawks here. That was like a gutsy character win by them for me when they, haven't been able to have a lot. They had a chance. I felt like, we'll get into it like period by period and, goal by goal even a little bit. But, they had a chance to completely fold up like a lawn chair after that second hurdle goal goes in and they stick to it. Seth Jones, who everyone's been dogging for the last few weeks here, gets that big goal before the period ends, adds a couple of assists. I thought he was really good tonight. But they just like completely had a chance to fold. And for a second, I was like, oh boy, like that's where this is headed right now. And
Yeah.
you got to like give it, you got to give it to them for sticking it out and, not folding and not bending, but not breaking, that's a
Oh yeah.
skill.
That's funny. Like that second period, like before that was terrible. Remind me a lot of the period last week against the Wings. And it's like I don't know what is to this Hawks team. It's like they get a lead and they just sit back and stop playing. They did that for like 90% of the period. But that goal away from Seth Jones that you brought up, by the way, Connor Bedard, Frank Nazar assists on
Yep.
that goal.
Yep.
Doesn't get any better than that on the same goal. I thought, like, once again, I thought those two had fantastic games. I thought they both deserved more than 1 point. They almost had a connection there late to seal the deal, make it 6-3, but what didn't quite happen. But I thought both of them had fantastic games at first line. Once again, fantastic. But a huge goal. And yeah, Seth Jones, you know what? Like, we've been dogging him the past week. Hawks fans in general, but dogging him and deservedly so. But good to see him respond today, get a goal, 2 assists, 3 point game, first star. I mean, that's how you want to see Seth Jones play, right? Good to see him respond accordingly. And hopefully, he can play like that more consistently more often. Because if he's playing like that, then I don't think we have much to complain about. But he definitely need a game like that after the last few performances for sure.
Yeah. You want to get in? Let's do the first period. Like I said, because I thought that was good. It looked like it was going to be pretty bad. That was a brutal giveaway by Pat Maroon on the first one. Just like, what are you doing behind the net? Just soft hockey behind the net. Like that's not going to get you traded to a contender, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
no, the puck should have got out of his zone there. Otherwise, I thought Maroon had a fine game. He had an assist, and he was all over it tonight. He had a fight, a few other
yeah,
scrums in there. He got ejected. Like he was like
what was with that? I missed that part. Like what? Why did he get ejected?
to be honest, like I think he started the whole thing, but I don't really know why he got ejected. I don't really think he did anything worse. I think it was White Cloud. He was tough with whoever it was, but I'm still confused why he was ejected. It seemed kind of odd to me. They got a power play out of it too, which I didn't really understand that either. But like from Pat Maroon, like that's the way you want to see him play. Like that's why we brought him here, right? To be that presence, that veteran presence, bring that physicality, that grit, that heart and soul. It's like I think his son was in the crowd or something. He's playing inspired. So love to see that from Pat. Hopefully more often, right? And I think that will get somebody, it will garner interest. Probably won't get much of a return, but somebody's going to always want Pat Maroon come playoff time. So that was good to see from him for sure.
Yeah. Reichel goal was beautiful,
Oh,
dude.
that was the nicest goal of the night. And Ed, I keep preaching it, I keep saying, give this guy more ice time with line mates who help him out, and he's going to produce, right? So that was a beautiful goal. Nice little lob play by Foligno there. Just let him use his speed, kind of get around the defender there and get the break, and nice little 1-2 move. Good stuff. I want to see that more. I think broke a long goal drought too. I can't remember the last time he had a goal, but he's been playing good hockey, and like he's going to get rewarded for it, right, when he's playing like that. So I'd like to see him continue to get more ice time here. I like him pair with Colton Dock. I think that makes a lot of sense. He had a point today too, so that was good to see as well. So and plus Reichel's name, we have seen him in talks a little bit here. I think the Hawks will be fools to give up on him this early. He's 22 years old. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He's got all the tools in the toolbox there. So just gotta give him time here, right? He's got 2 years in that bridge deal. Let's give him next year too, and give him extended time, and he'll start to cook here. So good to see that from Reichel.
Yeah. You know, I will mention too. So there was a question that was sent in for Friday. I forgot, it was through Discord. It was actually asked multiple times. In that, am I going to personally? It was directed right at me. Am I personally going to stop my Bertuzzi slander? Look,
Get two goals today.
yeah, like that's why, because I felt like that was the time to bring it up, because second gets the second one, first of the game for him on the power play. Both of them were in the power play. I think the thing with Bertuzzi is he's just a notoriously slow starter to seasons.
Yeah, now you're saying that too.
Yeah, and I think this is like a thing for him. And now we're just like at a point in the season where it's like, man, if you're not in a groove, like what are you here for? Like what do you do here exactly? But yes, I am gonna personally quit on the Bertuzzi slander, because I think he's been really good lately for the past like 3 weeks for the Hawks. He's noticeable. He's doing the things that they brought him in here to do, creating havoc in front of the net, creating space for other teammates. I thought he was really good tonight. So I will personally end my Bertuzzi slander.
Yeah, there you go. 16 goals leading the team. And it wouldn't shock me at the end of the season as a leading goal scorer. Bedard might pass him, but
he
like
could hit 30 this year though.
Yeah, it's just he gets so much of those like goals on one knee, net front. Like on the power play, both of them were in the power play, pretty similar goals there. Jones and Tabo assisted both of those goals as well. So that's why we brought him here, right? To kind of be that, be that net front presence, score those gritty, dirty goals, right? Those garbage goals. Doesn't, they don't ask how, right? So good to see. He's been great line mate at Bedsy too, which has been awesome. Good to see him have consistent line mates the last couple of weeks. I think that's a big part of why his production's been better. Had an assist today too. That's points 12 of his last 13 games, point per game player in the 2025 years. So good to see. Great to see it for sure.
Yeah, really good stuff. The Hall goal too to end the period. That's a nice one, right? I saw in your post on your story, you were like up in the trade value, but like seriously, that is exactly what he's doing there with that goal.
Yeah. Maybe now we'll get a second rounder instead of a third. But the Hawks, like, we don't see them score in bunches super often. They have 3 goals late in the first period, and they were like under 4 minutes at the end of the period. Like that was great to see. I mean, and then they spend the second period. They have 2 shots on goal for like the majority of the period, but then they get that one late, makes the period look good. But yeah, they ended the period with goals tonight, which is good to see. A lot of times they're on the reverse of that, right? Where they start the games off, they set the tone, score the first goal, and then sit back. I thought it was a more consistent effort from that standpoint tonight.
Yeah. Really good stuff. And then, second period, I kind of thought it was going to unravel. I don't know what you thought about the hurdle goals, and maybe we could do a little Vegas talk here in the middle, but I don't know what you kind of thought of the second. Like the wheels were totally about to fall off the bus there for a second.
Yeah, they almost did. Like they bended, but they didn't break. I think you said. And one of them, I know, he just kind of hurdle, he just blasted right by Martinez, who didn't have the greatest game against his former team. I think the other one was in the power play as well. So he had a good game. He's been a good fit there for Vegas. Big part of why they've had the season that they've had. Theodore as well. Such a good player. Reichel and Eichel. Rick Ball could help himself. He kept bringing up Reichel and Eichel like the same sentence. I think they both had points today as well, which is funny. But yeah, second period, I think it was just key to get that goal late, right, from Jones, because that kind of, you left the period with something. It was almost a disaster. You almost left that period tied, but to go into the third period leading versus tied, I think they kind of got the momentum back on their side, and I thought the third period was much better from that standpoint. So good to see that.
The only other, like, I don't want to do like a ton of Vegas talk since the Hawks won. I did think they looked really slow to start the game. You could definitely tell they were on the second half of a back to back there. My one thing is like, you better hope, if you're Bruce Cassidy and everybody on the Vegas Golden Knights, you better hope that when the Stanley Cup playoffs start and the games start to matter a bit more than this game necessarily against the Blackhawks, you better hope Aiden Hill's your guy in the net and not Ilya
Yeah, because
Samsonov.
Samsonov was rough tonight, man. He was rough. He's an inconsistent goalie, right? When he's on, he can be hot, but then when he's off, dude, like he just loses it. So, yeah, I think I'd have more trust in Hill. And they've, he's shown up for them before the playoffs, won a cup with them in 23. So definitely hope he's available because if you have to rely on Samsonov, I think people probably have him going not quite as far in the playoffs despite their record, right? They could be a potential President's Trophy a candidate there, but it might not be a good thing. And, recent history, it doesn't tend to go well.
Yeah, I think, boy, like when Ilya Samsonov is off, like
Yeah.
this isn't like, that's not an NHL goalie, dude. Like that is far from it. In fact,
And it's weird too because he was like a really hot prospect back in the day. Remember, like he was supposed to be like the next big thing. He's never really
he was
panned
a
out
first rounder.
on a consistent basis, right? Just hasn't worked out, right? Drafted by the Capitals, then went to the Leafs, now Vegas. Just a few changes of scenery. As nothing's really changed.
The only thing else I had about Vegas was actually about the guy who scored both goals, Hurdle. Like, he is like the entity to me of like the Vegas Golden Knights, in a way of like, not necessarily like his style of play. To me, that's more of a Mark Stone kind of guy. Like, he's the one that sort of leads by example with his play on the ice. But like, Hurdle to me is the epitome of what Vegas is as an organization,
Just keep
because
replacing guys and free agency
yeah,
trades
and they
stuff.
all fit like a freaking glove, and they got him. I know they ended up, like, I think it was a first rounder and a kid that they had picked in the first round, David Edstrom, who then San Jose flipped to Nashville in the Askarov trade. So, I guess, San Jose did end up with Askarov for a guy that, they were able to sell high on. But like, man, if I'm Vegas, like, I'm still making that trade 100 times out of 100, and like, they're the guy with the better player, and San Jose, like, Askarov is going to be really good, I think, but like, man, I don't know, dude. Like, that's just like what they do. Like, they just like get these guys that you're like, how are they going to fit this under the cap structure? And then, suddenly, they make it work. They always just make it work.
Vegas does zero building in the draft, man. It's all free agency trades and stuff, like all staff cap transitional moves, but they pay out every year. Every year, people say, "Oh, it's not going to work out." A lot, like they were a popular pick this year to fall out of the playoffs. If anything, they're better than they were last year. So kudos to them. They keep making it work. I mean, year 8, and only missed the playoffs once, and that year they were kind of riddled of injuries. So yeah, I mean, they've been a very successful franchise there. Unfortunately, I'm kind of sick of them, but like the Chiefs of the NHL to a lesser extent. But
Yeah, I get the comparison. No, actually, I lied. I had one more Vegas point. Shea Theodore is really good at hockey.
oh yeah, I love him on my fantasy team. He's great.
Oh,
Underrated
really?
somehow. He kind of flies under the radar a little bit. He's a second pair guy there, but yeah, he's just so smooth on both ends of the puck, right? Just kind of a that's a defenseman you want, come playoff time, eating up minutes, and that's a good complementary piece there.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, he's
Betsy too,
good.
like he only had the one assist, but it's like he was robbed twice in the first period, man. He
Yep.
had that crossbar from a sharp angle to start the game. Then he had another one like that went in the glove there. Like he was net front. He only had one assist, but I thought he had a fantastic game. Could have had more points. Same deal as Frank Nazar as well. Just this guy just keeps generating chances, shots, but they're not going in. Eventually they will. Eventually the dam will burst for him. I love his play. Keep that line going, keep that connection going. I think it's been absolute cinema.
Yeah, if you're the Hawks, like, I know none of them scored a goal, but like, that's what you want a win to look like right now.
Oh yeah.
Like, Doc got an assist too on the first goal. Like, that's what you want these games to look like now. A really good effort. Whether you're able to pull out the gutsy win or not at this point, I think is, not that this season is a wash, because we have like, 30 some odd more post games to go, which we all want full attendance in. But like, if all these guys are contributing and getting their cookies for it a little bit too, like, that's just got to feel really good. I think Bedard's at a point now where he's not like super satisfied with an assist. I'm sure he wanted to bury those two chances, but like,
Yeah.
for Nazar and Doc, like, those are like cookies that you want.
Yeah, and it's like good that they're getting those chances, right? Like you'd be worried like if they're young players and they're like not noticeable, but like they've been noticeable every night. Eventually, like they're gonna get the production to kind of they're gonna get rewarded for it eventually, right? Just yeah, the fact you look at this win, you get points from Reichel, Doc, Bedard, and Nazar, four of the young guns right there. Like that's fantastic. And then it's just production all throughout the lineup as well, right from key pieces. So I mean, yeah, you want more games like this than the year, right? It's not necessarily about wins and losses, but how the players that are producing, right? That's what matters, right? I think today it's like you saw production from the right cast, the future cast. That's what matters the second half of the season.
Yeah. Any thoughts on like the last two goals, like the Jones one? I know we talked about the
Jones
assists on
was
it, but
shooting the puck a ton tonight. What's
yeah.
that? He should be shooting it more. He has a decent shot, but I feel like he doesn't use
Hmm.
it enough, or sometimes it's not. Sometimes he uses it at the wrong times. He puts these muffins on net, but he's actually using his slapper. I thought that worked really well tonight. So good to see that as well. And yeah, just getting really involved in the play, and that's what he should be doing. I did think like that he would thrive in sorts of system. We've seen taken a while to see it come to fruition. He'll come back from injury. It's been a struggle for him, but tonight, like that's the way I thought I would expect to see him play under the system that breeds defensemen getting involved in the rush and the offense. Power play's been producing well, and both the special teams have. I mean, PK's still top five, but like he should be able to thrive in this system, in the power play. So hopefully we'll see more performances like that from him the rest of the year for sure.
And the other thing I will say is like Bedard was fired up for him when he got that goal, which is cool.
Yeah.
That to me at times where I haven't like called it out. I've definitely mentioned like the slam and the sticks, the
Hmm.
bad body language from Bedard. But if you're, and I know we talk about like trading Seth Jones all the time, right? But like if you're Bedard and you're looking at it and it's like maybe they don't trade Seth Jones, like he is locked up here until 2030, right?
Then
And
embrace it, right? Try to build something there.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that's going to be one of your guys. If he's not gone, that is one of your dudes. At least right now, that should be your number one defenseman. Like I know Vlasic has definitely played like it the entire season.
He was in the thick of it tonight, man. He had that
Yeah,
one penalty that the Vegas won a five out of that, but I think it was worthy of a five. But yeah, he was involved in the play big time. But yeah, like you want to see him build that chemistry with Seth. I feel like at times Cater and Seth weren't always on the same page. Like you want Bedard and Seth on the same page. It's big for the forwards and the D to kind of have that connection, especially in the power play as well, right? That chemistry. So yeah, they got one obviously today. So a nice assist there from Benzie on that Jones goal. He's really good with those little spin move plays, just like creating time and space. That's why he's racking up the apples this year. 28 on the year. So that's pretty good to see that for sure.
yeah, and the Bertuzzi, the last goal, the Bertuzzi goal was good insurance, but like carbon copy Tyler Bertuzzi goal.
Oh yeah, no, it was good to get that one too because I didn't really feel very confident with that one goal lead, and it's like they did get power play late, so that goal definitely helped us out, kind of give us a little breathing room there for sure. We already blew 1-2 goal lead, but thankfully we didn't blow another one, so that was good.
All right, what else you got from the game? Any
I just
negatives?
I think just well, I mean, the second period was, I mean, it's a theme with this team, right? Just like we just seem to take a foot off the gas too often. I literally like you sent a text in the group chat like that was our best period of the season after the first period. And I was like, that's great and all, but I've watched way too many Hawks games where it's like I know they're not going to play like that the next period, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Right, Vegas just controlled the entirety of that period. We're lucky that they only had that they only scored twice really, just to tie the game up, and then we got the one late that made it look better, but like really that was a kind of terrible period. So I guess that was the negative, but it did respond well, I think, in the third, right? I think that goal late kind of played a key part, and I think got the momentum back. So yeah, I'd say if there's a negative, that would be it. But I mean, a win against a top team like the Knights, right? Breaking a 4-game losing streak. We're still in last, but it's like, it's a good morale boosting win, like I said. Not really much positives for me. Got production from the kids. Love to see it.
Yeah, I didn't think, yeah, I will say, so to stick on that, they went from such a dominant period that I should have expected. I was like, man, they're gonna,
Oh yeah, I knew it
I
was
thought they
coming.
were gonna blow them out after the first period. I was like, man, like Vegas get
Nope.
ready, like Aiden Hill better get ready to come in this game again because, the shots were 13-5. Like they held it down. Dude, the shots in the second period were 17-3 for Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, second period's been an issue for this team a lot lately too. Like the whole past, like first periods tends to be probably their best period for the Hawks. The second periods tend to be the worst, and the third is somewhere in between. We kind of saw that again tonight, right? That was exactly how it played out. But good to be on the opposite end of it for once, right? I mean, we got outshot 35-23, but like I don't know if that really tells us the full story because a lot of those half those shots were in the second period. I think otherwise we had
Literally.
higher higher quality looks and stuff. And I bet Mrazek good to see him have a good game as well because he's been kind of streaky lately, inconsistent. So good to see it from that as well.
Yeah. Trevor in chat says it was 13-2 before the Jones goal too. So, woof.
Yeah. So that Jones goal literally like saved the period. I think it should save the period. I think it saved the game. Like if he didn't score that goal, like the Vegas wins that game. I think like we don't come out in the third period like we did. So that was key. Hawks also won I'm looking at the stats here. They were 60-40 in the faceoffs today. Normally it's the other way around. So I think that was a big part as well, right? Winning those opening draws is so key for possession. Ozone time. So I think even though they were outshot a lot, it seemed like the possession was pretty equal on both ends. If anything, they seemed to have the puck more in their zone. So good to see that. They win more games playing like that.
You said it was 60-40?
Yeah, in favor of the Hawks face-offs.
So after the first period, it was 66.7 to 33.3, and then after the second period, it was 56.4 to 43.6. So the Hawks were still leading the whole time, but Vegas was like getting it close and. Yeah, I don't know. No, this was good on the Hawks to dominate the dot a little bit one night.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see it very often. Normally, they're literally near the bottom of the league in terms of face-offs. So, yeah, good to see for sure. And yeah, like just look at more of these box scores, right? Good to see the power play go 2 for 3. The PK did get up one, but otherwise they were good, right? They were clutch there late. I was worried like when they got that late power play, if they score here, then they could pull the goalie down one, tie it up. I think it didn't happen. So yeah, I mean, the Hawks have been known to choke away some of these late games. We saw it against the Predators, the other night. So thankfully they didn't repeat that tonight as well. With the bear down there for sure.
Yeah. The only negative I really had, and it wasn't a negative because, everybody was like pretty solid today. It was just like guys I didn't notice, Mikheyev, Dickinson. I just like, man, I haven't noticed him at all this year.
Yeah, I mean, compared to last year, I think it's part of it. He's not playing quite as much. It's a more crowded roster. Like he was tied for the goal lead last year. But he kind of had to step up, especially for that month when Bedsy was out. He stepped up. So he had more of a role on last year's team. I mean, we still see him in the PK. He still is an important piece of this team, but the offense has definitely dried up a bit. His defensive game has been, decent, but maybe not quite as strong as last year. Yeah, not quite as noticeable. I agree with that. I think Foligno's been more noticeable from that aspect, kind of doing that defensive game, the PK. It's 1,200th game tonight, by the way, Nick Foligno, and he had an assist. So good to see his dad, Mike, join the broadcast for a bit. Good to see the Hawks get a win for the dads. I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah, obviously the trip started in Nashville, but they were there today in Chicago as well, and good to see them get a win for the dads, the mentors. Definitely, yeah. Maybe they can need to extend this trip, man. Maybe that's the jolt they needed, right? Hopefully they can make something of this, right, where it's not a one-game wonder, but. The upcoming schedule for the Hawks, it doesn't get easier. I think all 7 of these next games are against playoff caliber teams like the Knights. So, it's going to be tricky, but if anything, it might be a good thing for the Hawks because as we've seen tonight and for many games this season, they do tend to play up to competition and play better against the best teams. So, it could be a decent run here before the Four Nations in the break. We'll see.
Yeah, I agree. To add on to dad talk, did you see Mike Foligno? And we should shout out Nick Foligno. That was his 1,200th NHL game too. So that was pretty cool. But did you see his dad, Mike, before the game, just like firing the boys up? That was really cool.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, he was also doing the line read, and I think that was pretty inspiring as well. I think that really helps set the tone, right? It gets the players going. I know Vegas scored the first goal, but if anything, I think it's good when Hawks don't score the first goal because their record when they do is actually not that great. So sometimes playing from behind is actually a decent thing to start the game. Kind of wakes you up. Throughout the rest of the period, the Hawks responded accordingly and kind of dominated. So that was good to see.
If you guys are looking for like old Foligno family lore, you ever see the way his dad used to celebrate Mike when he was on the Sabres? He was played in the NHL, right? You ever see the Foligno league?
Many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
have their sons incorporated that at all?
I think Marcus used to do it when he was like earlier on in the NHL, like I think he might have doubted it a couple of times, but like you can't be like jumping up and down every time you score a goal in the NHL.
Yeah, no, you got it. There's no one saying act like you've scored before, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's for sure.
Yeah, but still, really good stuff. Anything else? Player of the game poll I put in chat here seems to be leaning towards Bertuzzi. He's got 44% of the votes here. Reichel's got 28, and Seth Jones has 22%.
Another point on Reichel, I love to see the emotion after he scored that goal too. Like he was just so fired up. I think that's great for his confidence. Hopefully he can kind of get the ball rolling here a little bit. Get him more ice time, right? Top 6. I think he's actually been the third line there with Doc. But yeah, I just love to see that, right? I haven't seen him like look that enthused in a while. So yeah, just good to see him get rewarded for his play. Like I know I've talked about a lot in this show, a guy that like I preach patience with, like just trust me, this kid's gonna turn out. So good to see him start proving me right today. I hope he does it more consistently. Hope the team puts him in better positions. And I just hope we don't give up on him because I think we got a player here. I think we gotta give him those opportunities. He's gonna cook here. Yeah.
You think he's feeling it a little bit? Like you think he's hearing the noise a little bit?
I'm sure. I don't know if he's Reichel's type of guy who's really tapped into that. He might be. But I think. I think I'm sure he's aware at least that he's been in talks and stuff, and he knows his position, that contract that he needs to show out here, right? If he wants to be a part of this core, so hopefully he starts use that as motivation. I think we're seeing that now. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that there are any of the young guys that are not like he knows. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
the young guys I think aren't like I don't know that like Pat Maroon is like checking what's going on social media or
I
Nick
don't think he
Foligno,
cares.
but
Yeah. No, that's
I think the young kids definitely do on the team.
Yeah, they're probably more addicted to their phones too, so they probably can't help it. They're probably going to see it somewhere, for sure. Yeah.
So apparently Nick Foligno did the jump on his first goal in Ottawa.
That right. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
That's a
that
good
is
time to
cool.
do it, right? Yeah, I don't, yeah. When other times he's done it, but well, actually, another point in Vegas, like, haven't they actually been struggling a little bit lately? Like they've lost a few of their games coming into this one, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong in
Uh,
saying that?
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
They lost last night to the Hurricanes, so things weren't probably going to go. I mean, I thought it was going to kind of be a get right for them. Yeah, they're 4-6 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a
Oh.
row.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there we go. So good to see. But sometimes that's actually had the reverse effect, right? Where a team looks at the Hawks in a schedule, they look their chops, it kind of gets them out of their droughts. We've seen that a lot. So good to see the Hawks take advantage of them in a vulnerable spot there. By the way, I apologize if I sound like shit. I'm dealing with yet another cold. Just as I get out of my past cold, a new one pops up. So kind of dealing with that right now. So just bear with me there.
Yeah, I was telling you before, but I think this is like the time of year where like,
Yeah,
I
dog
was
days.
sick. I was
Yeah,
sick coming out of the Christmas, and then we spent like the entirety of Winter Classic week outside, and
yeah.
that just it destroyed me. But now, thankfully, I think I'm on the up and up. But I think everybody, dude, is like sniffling, and Lee can't do a podcast without sniffling right into the microphone.
Yeah, I've been doing it too. Yeah. But yeah, it's been going on for a while now. Jesus, right on cue. Yeah, hopefully one of these days we come out of this. I thought I was done with it, but anyway, back to the game.
Yeah, Vegas is actually
Uh,
they've actually lost the top spot in the division. I mean, they're tied with Edmonton, but Edmonton is a game in hand. So
they
they're
had the exact same record going into this game. Yeah,
yeah, but
absolutely.
Vegas is definitely maybe we don't get Edmonton Los Angeles in the first round right now, dude. I'm watching the Kings Kraken right now because it's the only for some reason normally look I'm gonna do a little Lee ESPN talk. This isn't about CHSN, but so normally like ESPN Plus is really good. Like I can watch Hockey Night in Canada. I can watch like all sorts of things. I watch every college hockey game that I can that's available. I have a handful of like friends of mine that play Division One hockey right now. I have a handful of like players on my Greek team that play Division One. So I'm always like keeping tabs on it. Dude, I tried to put on like 3 different Division One games today. Boston College played Providence. It was blacked out here in Chicago for some reason.
Oh, that
Um,
sucks.
there were like 2 other college games that were blacked out, and yeah, there were man, what was the other NHL game that was blacked out? But it wasn't like a Hawks game. Like the Hawks game was blacked out like usual.
Hmm.
But there were like other games blacked out. I was like, what is going on here? This is ridiculous. Like, what am I even paying for this for if you're just like teasing me with these games? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, there should be a service that is a thing, right? They're just like everything is on one app or whatever. They just make it simple, but I guess that's too much to ask for from streaming services nowadays. Yeah, you had another like NHL schedule where it's like 2 games last night, right? And then there's like 13 or something today. So NHL loves doing that, but yeah, maybe we'll see more balance in the future. But as for the Hawks, they got the Canes next up Monday. So again, another tough opponent there. I believe that's at home. So the Hawks, they're decent. I think they're 10-13 at home, so much better, the record versus away. I don't know how much I'll be paying attention to that game. To be honest, I'll have some stuff going on that day. But
yeah.
anyway, good W for the Hawks today, and we move for sure.
Yeah, we'll be holding down the fort. All right. I think we can call it. I don't really have much else on this one.
I
It was
would
good. It
like,
was fun though.
yeah, no, definitely. I think I said in the Hawks GC like that was one of the funnest, best games of the year. And I think it was. I think the Hawks desperately needed it, man. Like this losing streak, this gig couldn't go on forever. So the first win since like we said, Avs like 4 games ago. So I think only the third of the 2025 calendar year, right? The first was against the Habs, right? That was a while ago as well. So good to see them get another dub here, and hopefully they can go on a little bit of a going a bit of a run, probably not, because their schedule is coming up is pretty tough. And as we know, this team is not very good at going on winning streaks. I think they've had what 2 or 3 all year. They lasted for like 2 games,
Yeah.
so it's asking for a lot from this team. But look, it's take it 1 game at a time here, or their 5 game segment talk. They like
Oh, I
bring
was
up
gonna
on
say,
there.
yeah, we didn't do any segment
That's
talk.
right. First, this is the second 5 game segment. We're 1-0 so far.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah, we'll see where we go from here. Yeah, unless Chad asks questions or something, and then
I'm
yeah,
looking through chat. I'm looking through chat. There's a little bit of UFC talk going on. If you're looking for UFC talk, that's Lee's department.
that. Yeah, that's I do not pay attention. If Lee was here, he'd be able to talk all about that. Yeah.
Somebody, Trevor asked, do you trade Peter Mrazek to Vegas? I mean, if they want him.
Yeah, I mean they might need him honestly. If Samsonov is not going to be the backup there, I mean if you don't feel confidence in him with Hill, then yeah, I mean Mrazek could be their fix there. Take him off our hands, and then we'll roll Soda as a starter. Yeah, well, I hope Mrazek needs to be more consistent, like more games like today, because it's been kind of all over the place for him. But I'm sure teams, he might generate some interest if the Hawks, because they will need to solve that goaltending dilemma eventually for sure.
Hawks also had 23 block shots in that game, so good job getting in front of the puck too. That's
They
pretty
had
good.
as much block shots as they had shots on goal. There you go. Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I mean that's how you play, man. Like that's how you get it done, especially when you don't have the ability to like skill it up against Vegas, right?
Yeah, you got to come away with these dirty wins and the tenacity as they like to bring up with their identity talk, so-called identity.
Yeah. Do you all think Bedard will finish the year point per game or better? Where is he
Yes.
right now?
He has 13 goals, 28 assists, 41 points in 46 games. So he's five points off right now, but he was way below that like about a month or so ago. He's been putting up 90+ point pace at Resorts, and so I think he could end the season, assuming he stays healthy. I think he could be above 82 points. I still think that's pretty doable for him. I'll put him at 85, somewhere in the 85 to 90 range. That might be a little. I mean, he needs to up the. He basically needs to produce the way he has been producing the past month for the rest of the season, which is a big if, but I think he can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll get close. Maybe he falls a little short, but he has been playing a lot better. I mean, the point streak ended in that game we live stream against the Oilers, and he's got points in each game.
A new one.
Yeah, he's starting a new one. Exactly.
Yeah, he's got 3 game point streak going now. Hopefully, it'll be another 9. I think he's taking that 4 Nations snub personally, and I don't know. I think Canada might be regretting leaving off the roster. Maybe if they have an injury, maybe he's the call up there.
Dude, I think Canada's regretting a lot of their decisions on the front. Dude, did you see Sam Montembeault give up 6 straight goals today?
They're goal. I mean, how they do in the tournament's going to come down to how if the goaltending can survive, because that's going to be their weakness, man. I mean, as good as that offense is in the D, like that's going to be an issue for them, I think.
They left off a guy like Logan Thompson, who's like lighting the world on fire right now, literally, with the Caps. And dude, I don't know.
World Juniors, doesn't matter what the tournament is. Hockey Canada struggling with just picking the best players, I guess.
Yeah. They'll be rocking Aiden Hill or Jordan Binnington, which is basically Canadian Ilya Samsonov. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm actually looking forward to it. I think that this break could be beneficial for guys like Bedard and the Sox team. Honestly, just a little break from hockey. Come into the rest of the season feeling rested, refreshed, a bit of a reset, and maybe go on a bit of a run. Like last year, they had a pretty good run in March. End of the season they actually looked pretty decent. So maybe we'll see the same this year after what's obviously been a disappointing season. But I think more games like today, just give us a game like this, like every 3 or so, every 3, 4 or so games. I think I'll be pretty happy here. So I don't think that's asking for too much. I really don't. So,
no, I don't think it is either.
Yeah, my expectations are low, so we can't be disappointed at this rate.
The only other thing too, I don't know how, just Teravainen, real quiet, like two assists night though. That's good from him. That's like the recipe. Like this is the recipe for a Hawks win. If you're gonna win in the 25 season, like this is how you do it. It's Bertuzzi, it's Teravainen, it's all the young kids getting on the board. It's Seth Jones looking competent, and it's not letting in more than 3 goals probably, and you're gonna have to score more than 3. So
the way that Bertuzzi and Tabo played the past month, like that's why Katie brought those guys in. It's taken a little while to come to fruition, but both of those two have played to expectations the past few weeks, right? Bertuzzi's been scoring goals, he's been a consistent linemate for Bedsy. Tabo hasn't been playing with Bedard except for the power play, but he's been great in the second line role there from the guys like Mikheyev and the shutdown situations. I think he has I want to say he has like 20 points in the last 15 games or something. Somebody could fact check me, and that might not be exactly accurate, but he's around that pace. He's been playing so good the past month. And like you said, just quietly, like 2 assists tonight. He was one of the stars of the game. And I was like, what? Why was he a star? And I looked at the box score. Oh, yeah, he assisted in both power play goals. It was easy to kind of forget that, right? Kind of flies under the radar, but he has these good performances, and I think he has 33 points this season, second highest producer, which he should be on this team. Yeah. He should be our second best producer. I think Bert's probably third. So that's what it should be. Bedsy, Table, Bert. Yeah, that's good to see for sure.
Okay, so final player of the game votes in. We got 24 votes. It got a little bit closer. Bertuzzi, 38%, Reichel, 29%, and Seth Jones, third place, 25%. And I would love to know who anybody, I mean, maybe Turbo if you thought, because I put an other option in there. 8% voted for other. So
probably like Bedsy, Frank, or someone like that. Maybe is what they're thinking. Yeah,
dude, it's kind of funny though that like even when Seth Jones has like the best
3
game we've seen.
Game.
Yeah, and Seth Jones can't even crack like the top two in the player of the game.
I thought both Bert and Table had great games, but I would give it to Seth. I thought not just like the offense. I thought he made some good plays with his stick, good defensive plays today too. I thought he was strong at both ends of the puck, which he hasn't been much recently. But I thought today he looked like he had the first couple months of the season before the injury. That looked like the way he was playing. So hopefully we'll see it more consistently. Yeah. I think it's easy to forget how good he was playing before he went down. So now that he's hopefully back here, he's responded accordingly, taking it personally, and we'll see more games like that from him for sure. Hopefully.
Yeah. It's just funny. No, he can't. He could have had a hat trick, and I think people would have not voted him for player of the game. So.
Oh, man. A part of me kind of feels for him. Like even in my like messages and stuff, like he was like my goal story post, people were like, I still don't like him, still trade him. He's increasing his value. I'm like, dude, just give him some props. Even when this guy plays well, I feel like Hawks fans can't give him credit. Like I dog him a lot, sure. Like I slander him. I also give him the props when he performs, and I think tonight you gotta give him your props, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. That's it from us. Remember, so Lee and I are going to live stream the game on Monday against the Carolina Hurricanes instead of going. We're too lazy to go all the way down to the United Center for $10 tickets to,
Fair enough. I'll blame it.
I like the Hurricanes. I think they could actually win the Stanley Cup. I don't want to go and, watch them, all their players look the exact same other than Svechnikov and, Aho, I guess. But like, I don't want to go watch the Hurricanes play. I'd rather sit down with Lee and live stream it.
That's the team that Frank Nazar scored his first career goal against last year at the UC. So maybe we'll see a highlight of that as well. Maybe he can score again, get this goal streak going here.
Yeah, but Justin has a personal day on Monday, so it'll be just me and Lee on the show. It'll be me and Lee on the live stream, and then it'll be me and Lee on the post game. So no rest for the weary here, and you'll be getting plenty of me and Lee, and I'll make sure Lee does most of the talking. We also, rip TikTok, dude. Like,
and we were doing so well over there, man.
I know.
I'm gonna miss my Bedsy my edits too that I've downloaded. Whatever, it is what it is.
I thought it wasn't gonna happen like that. Like I thought it was gonna kind of like be a.
Well, it might not be over yet. Trump might say, but he might extend it 90 days. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully, but yeah, at the moment it's not looking good. I checked my phone too; it's the same message popped up. So that's too bad.
I was trying to see if we could siphon off our TikTok follower because it grows, man. You just like that was the thing that was so great was like we would just take the same clips we were posting on Instagram, you just like throw them on TikTok, and at least like the last few weeks, dude, we'd post a clip and we'd get like 10 followers on TikTok, 15 followers sometimes.
Loves like those short form content, like the content that we post on Instagram, those clips, like it's that stuff is like made for TikTok. So it does suck. I guess that's why it's getting shut down. Clearly, they just don't want to see us win over there.
Hopefully, they hate to see Chicago Hockey Radio grow and all.
Yeah, well, we'll have to find something else to add to it. I guess maybe Facebook is next. That's last year.
I don't know.
My parents have been dogging me like, hey, you guys got to start a CHR Facebook. I'm like, maybe I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
I never use Facebook. I mean, that's like I don't know. I mean, maybe there's more middle-aged people listen to us than I think. I don't know. Maybe they find us there. I don't know. Maybe it's a
Maybe.
thought.
If
Yeah.
you really feel like we should have a Facebook, let us know in the comments. But other than that, I don't know that that's where we're
I
going with
don't.
this.
Yeah. I don't really. I was just replace the social medias or something. I don't know.
But we did, we got 600 followers on TikTok or
That's right.
Instagram,
Or
on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So rock on. Appreciate everybody that's supported us so far, and keep doing that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if this is your first time here. Find us on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio. Every handle of ours, everything is the exact same. I think that the Twitter that Lee's running the Twitter. If you find us on Twitter, just know that it is Lee. It is not Justin or I getting after it on there. Somebody said, I'd rather see you guys get a P.O. box than a Facebook page.
Fair enough.
MySpace. Yeah, MySpace.
It's funny. There's been two video apps banned, Vine and TikTok, and in the time that this Buffalo Sabres playoff drop has been going on. So that's pretty crazy. Not to slander the Buffalo Sabres on here. That wasn't my thought, by the way. I saw that somewhere else, so I stole that. But
dude, that's funny though. Just throwing strays out to the Sabres.
Speaking of TikTok, the Hawks are posting some pretty good content there. They had a conspiracy theories they posted today too. Betsy was saying he believes in aliens, and he put out there that he thought the moon landing was a little suspicious over there. So I'm not really sure what's going on in Connor's head, but thank God he's good at hockey.
Yeah, no, seriously. I saw a clip on this will end the podcast. I saw a clip today on the NHL posted. They do these clips at the media car wash at the beginning of the year. They'll ask all these players these questions. They plan out their content, a literal year in advance. But the one that came out today, it was if you wanted to be an athlete for a day, who would it be? And
I saw that.
He said John Morant, and I thought that was really, he said Anthony
Edwards.
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, yeah, that was an interesting one. I wouldn't have guessed that, but he loves his basketball, so I guess I shouldn't be shocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big sports nut, Joe. He's a hockey nerd, but he's a sports nerd too. I remember he did those Instagram lives, those football lives before the season started. Those are pretty fun. I want to see him bring that back over the last season. That'd be fun. But yeah, he's an interesting guy. That was supposed to a dad's joke TikTok too. He made a pretty funny joke there as well. I can't remember what it was, but interesting to see. I'm sure the teams aren't happy about it too of this TikTok situation.
No,
definitely changes some of their social media game plans there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it hurts a lot of people. So. All right. That's it. Like I said, follow us on Instagram at CHR at Chicago Hockey Radio. Follow us on Twitter, I guess. No more TikTok. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Leave a 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Helps us out tremendously. Anything else? No, I don't know. That's it. Go enjoy your Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday. If you haven't listened to our interview with Sean McMorrow from the NHL Hour of Friday show, yeah, that guy's such a beauty and just so nails, super good, really cool guy. So like the stream too. Yeah, I appreciate that comment. But yeah, like the stream too, helps push it out there. New people are finding us every day, and keep DMing us your questions for Friday, Discord, all that. Oh yeah, hop in the Discord too if you're not there already too. There are a lot of places you can find us. So we will be back Monday. There is a lot of stuff coming from us on Monday. Show, live stream, post-game show, and then Justin will be back on Wednesday. So we'll see everybody then. Enjoy the rest of your evening.